entrepreneur story by the alumni entrepreneurs of Amity University. On that note, I, Arya Singh, and I, Gautami, students of ACET, extend a warm and heartily welcome and a very good afternoon to the reputed industry guests and alumni present with us today. Also, I'd like to wish all the faculty members and everyone who's present here. I would now request Professor Dr. Madhuri Kumari Ma'am, Deputy Director, Industry Relations and Placement, to address the theme of today and welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Arya and Gautami. I would say that that was a perfect beginning from your side, and thank you for taking over. For our alumni, would like to inform you this is the first time that we are having such a formal session being taken up by the students for comparing. Otherwise, it was in the online session. It was like, the faculty getting started with it and then a very formal start. And this time we thought that alumni should be talking to our students directly with no one coming in between, because you being the mirror, what best can we have than you talking to your own juniors. So with that in our mind, we thought, this is such a great day. The birth anniversary of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I think I feel very lucky to be part of that era when Dr. Kalam was president of our country. And I feel really proud of it. I think the real sense of being Indian, I think he was the one who had put that seed in our thought that be proud of being Indian. And then when we see his quotation, the best part that I could look at it is a big D that comes there, dream, dream, dream. And he was a staunch believer of it, that you have to dream before your dreams come true. And he would always say and repeat, dream, dream, dream. Dream transforms into thoughts and thoughts results into action. And that is what, my dear alumni, you are the true, I would say, the representation of this thought, what Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has given to us. Innovation and entrepreneurship is very much related. I would say at times, if we don't really look into dictionary, these two things are something which seem to be synonymous. If you have innovation and if you have the right thought and to convert it into business, gives rise to the entrepreneurship in spite of having inventions. But if you don't have that thought of converting it into societal application, it remains within your brain and can never become a real use. So that is what you have done, and we are so proud of you. I, on behalf of Amity School of Engineering and Technology, entire Amity University fraternity, would like to welcome you and convey our heartfelt thanks for sparing your time to talk to our students, your juniors, and tell them how they should not forget to dream and they should all dare to dream. So with this small note, once again, welcome so much. And we are sure that we are going to be listening to a very, very enthusiastic and great stories of success from you all. Thank you once again, and over to Arya and Gautami.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Passion, creativity, and resilience are the most crucial skills in business. If you have got those, you're ready to embark on the journey. You have to see failure as the beginning and the middle, but never entertain it as an end. Having said that, I would like to invite Professor Dr. M.K. Pandey Sir, Joint Head ACET, to address the audience.
Thank you. Thank you, Gautami, and thank you, Arya Singh. Thank you very much. And we wanted, why we had adopted this process was, we should discuss and should have a good coordination with our alumni, those who have gone through the same process, who are sitting in the same classroom, some and who are passing through the same, and now they have started their own companies. They have good idea, and fortunately today is why we are sitting here is innovation day. Innovation day. Now when you talk about the innovation, and now Utkarsh, Divya, Sheikh, and other alumni entrepreneurs will be emphasizing more on that. For the starting your own company, the first requirement is an idea. We have number of examples, n number of examinations, where they do not have big finances behind them. They do not have big infrastructure with them. What they had is only a small, good, big, innovative idea. And through that idea, they have with anyone. Now, for everyone, even for those students who are studying, right, there are two options. One is to join a big company or to start a small company. Now, to become a big fish of small pond or to become a small fish of big pond, ocean, it's your choice. What do you want to be? It's your choice. So entrepreneurship is a, see, if you have an idea, you need a small smartphone and maybe one laptop. If you are very rich, you need a laptop only, and through the laptop you can make the websites like many people have done, like Ola have done, like Uber have done, like Zomato have done, like Oyo Homes have done, like Trivago have done, like n number of examples of like that. What they have, simple one idea and one website, and these people without having any infrastructure. Ola running biggest transport system in India without any single car. What they have, only idea. Zomato is running biggest food chain without any restaurant. What is there with them? Only one idea. Now for the students, for you, for those who are listening today, that's why we wanted you to interact with your senior people. See, for you, this is the best time right now to start your own concern. Starting your own company was never easy. Then before that, it was not easy. This is a right time when you have to start, and always have risk-taking capacity. And you have risk-taking capacity because you do not have anything to lose. So now I would like our entrepreneurs now, because you are not here listening to me, you have not come to listen to me today, but yes, I'll request our alumni entrepreneurs, those who have gone to out of box things, they also have the choice of joining some company, but they had taken a disruptive idea and their own company. You can go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. This was a quote mentioned by Helen Keller, and today we have an amazing panel on entrepreneur story, a session by alumni entrepreneurs. Our goal today is that whatever your role is in this industry, that you will come away with something, a new idea, a fresh perspective, a new strategy that you can apply to be more successful in your business. So here's the format to give you an idea of what to expect. Each of the panelists will briefly introduce and tell a little bit about their background in the industry, following up with their brand advice. And then at the end, we'll open up the floor to give you an opportunity to ask specific questions that you have been thinking about. But before we begin, I would like to take the privilege to introduce our first speaker, Mr. Abhishek Bhattacharya, to the audience. In today's era, blockchain technology has created the backbone of a new type of internet and taking the context of cyber currency like Bitcoin with special excitement. I am pleased to welcome Mr. Abhishek Bhattacharya to our gathering. Abhishek sir has always been at the juncture of tech and product management. His entry into the field of blockchain was about 7 years back when he got to know about blockchain, Bitcoin, and other implementation of the technology. Later, he went to join Karachain, India's first smart contract-enabled blockchain as a product manager. He frequently writes and has authored a book on information technology and has more coming on computer science technology and blockchain. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Abhishek Bhattacharya. I now request you, sir, to please address the gathering.
Hello. Yeah, am I audible? Yeah. Thank you, Arya. Thanks for the introduction. I'm audible, right, Arya?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Great,
sir.
great.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Arya, and everyone, every faculty, Madhuri ma'am, Garima ma'am. Thank you for inviting me here, and it is really wonderful to be called back by the alma mater. That time is when you understand that okay, there is something, definitely something good that you've done, that your alma mater is calling yourself back to help impart the same thing to the current students, right? And that feeling is really overwhelming. So as a basic introduction, I'm currently co-founder at World, which is an agri-fintech blockchain-based platform where we are working towards dual objectives. One is helping farmers and traders. Farmers being one of the very important pillars of our economy. We are trying to help them save their incomes. We are trying to help them manage their incomes better by availing warehouse receipt financing, and which prevents them from committing suicides because of lack of money. Ultimate goal is that to help them manage that money and to get lending in its proper form in less number of days. And on the other hand, we are helping banks to protect frauds because of blockchain technology. That is where we are implementing blockchain technology. We are working with Maharashtra state government and other banks in India, Yes Bank and all. So that is what we are doing currently. That's an impact startup that I've done. I've been doing since the last 1 year or so, and this is my third startup. So the first one started while I was in my third year of college at Amity. It was a media company. It was also it went fairly till about 1 year plus, and we had raised a modest amount of funding there as well, and had a pretty good team of around 37 interns working at that time, while we were ourselves involved full time in our studies. And third year was not very easy. Third year was not very easy, and however we closed that. A lot of learning that came from there. And my second startup was back in 2018 when I was working again on blockchain, and then this is my third startup. Everywhere I'm seeing that okay, I'm growing quite a lot in terms of traction. Possibly this third one has got the most traction, but that is how I think the learning is used over and over again. And I hope that this becomes the last one where I can stick through, because practically speaking, and I know that a lot of students are hearing here, that practically speaking, every time I was starting up, the biggest question in my mind was the entire question of starting up was getting difficult to answer with every plus one time. It was very easy to start up in third year, believe me, because there was very frankly speaking, because there was the college education was being taken care of by my father, didn't have any loan on my head, didn't have a salary to worry about, that leaving that salary will be a problem. And really it was such a early age, such a young age. Believe me, the tensions just grow as you grow in age. The tensions just grow, and it was so easy at that time to decide. It was like overnight, and yes, okay, I'll be starting up. This is something I have to do. I wanted to start up since my class 12, to be honest. That's when I had these ideas, and I also was looking at starting up. So the first chance that I got, I took it up. I jumped and took it up. Next, when I'm talking about and at that time it was good to continue. After that, from Amity, I got a couple of very standard job opportunities, Capgemini, Tech Mahindra, I guess, and but I was not very keen on joining that. But everyone has a different motive and a plan. So I joined a startup again. So I've been a startup guy almost, either my own startup or someone else's startup that I worked for. Startups do have salary problems. First startup I stretched for 4-5 months, didn't get salary for a single day, but then I had to leave because now college was over, and it was started to feel bad taking that same amount of money from father, to be speaking very frankly, because everyone is in that stage right now. And after that, doing the second startup was very difficult. Still, cutting it short, after that second startup I was at Policy Bazaar. That was one, it has a startup culture, but it is 11 years old. It's a $1.5 billion unicorn right now. So what has it's still considered a startup in some sense. So that was where I had a good salary, I had a great environment, great career path. Looking at it, it had a great career path that where I can go from there. Leaving that to do this third startup was till now the most difficult decision that I have taken. Today, standing here, we are opening up on revenues. Profit is far into the future. As we can see in our financials, we don't see profit in the next few months. We are somehow winning grants from IIT Kanpur, IIM Ahmedabad, doing all these things to get 10, 15, 20, 25 lakhs and to let us go with a burn rate of over 4 lakhs. So, but leaving Policy Bazaar and doing this startup was the most difficult life, because frankly speaking, now at this age, 25, you start thinking that, okay, 2 years, 2.5, 3 years down the line, you'll have to marry as well. That father giving money has already left behind 2 years back. So now it's a very crucial time. So yeah, cutting it short, that's what the feeling looks like. But till now, every time I've started up, I have been happy, even though it has failed, but that's a different life altogether it gives. And to be honest, I've worked as well at companies on salary, on standard job protocols and job guidelines, but fun is in only when you're creating an impact. You're doing something different for which you don't have a roadmap. You cannot call someone up, a team lead in your team, and say कि ये नहीं हो पा रहा मेरे से, मैं क्या करूँ आगे. You don't have that opportunity. If you are not able to do something during the day, you'll have to spend the night to see how to do it. I mean, how someone else must have done it, maybe I don't know when, but it's difficult, but it's really enjoyable. I mean, I believe everyone on the panel would agree to this. This is some thought I believe I'll hear from everyone here. But this is one of the most enjoyable moments, and whatever is the case, you will fail. 99% or 97, 90, I don't know, figure, startups fail, and out of 33% is what is working right now. 66% failed, right? So yeah, let's I'm hoping, but that's the thing that I wanted to share. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Go ahead, Arya.
I am honored to introduce Mr. Utkarsh, co-founder and CEO at Tech Review. Utkarsh sir has graduated as an engineer in information technology from Amity University in the year 2012. In about 2 years after graduating, he started working with the EdTech Review as the editor and is currently working as the co-founder and CEO of the same. Throughout his career, Mr. Utkarsh has been actively involved in entrepreneurship, primarily focused on how 21st century knowledge and skills can be embedded in education. Over the past 6 years, Utkarsh has learned a lot about entrepreneurship, and today he is here to enlighten us with the same.
Yeah, thank you, Gautami, and thank you, Arya. You guys are doing a great job. So I think I'll invite my co-founder Shantanu as well, who will kind of run you through on our journey so far, and then probably I'll towards the end take you students to like majorly talking about the tips that I have learned in my journey of these 7-8 years, and then I'll be kind of walking you through on how we have actually taken those tips seriously. Shantanu, over to you for the first few parts. Yeah, so Shantu, you want to talk about it, or you want me to talk about this? Utkarsh,
I think there is some technical glitch.
Okay, so I because I cannot hear Shantanu, so maybe I'll take this up, and I don't know if you can. Yeah, so if we can listen, you can just kind of switch on the change the slides if required. So we started off majorly kind of keeping in mind the gaps that we saw in the market, majorly around what the people knew about this space. So this was pretty niche when we started, and we started taking this kind of more of a research and understood the market in general. And we spent a lot of time, and when I say a lot of time, you won't believe how much time. So we actually spent a lot of, in fact, college days as well after that to kind of just get a sense of the market and get a sense of the players and get a sense of what are the opportunities here. And when we found that there was a lot happening, we found that it is something that we should spread awareness about. And we started off kind of creating more of a, started off as a blog, but grew into more of a holistic media platform and community that we built around this sector. And we always wanted to connect different stakeholders in this space and help them find news, information, resources. And after these many years of hard work, we have now grown to a base which kind of is over 120,000 and an annual readership of 3 million, which kind of helps in our not just brand domestically, but internationally, because we have visitors from all over the world. And in fact, a lot of resources have been referenced in different countries and different research papers, different books, and they have been taking permissions through us for that. So if I talk about the journey so far, so we started way back when we were in college, and we had the privilege at Amity of having the incubator and kind of getting that exposure earlier in our journey. So we kind of took we made the most of it and kind of spent a lot of time, whether during the breaks or whether it was after college or after college hours, or probably even skipping few of the lectures if required. And that was all driven by passion. So that's how we could kind of understand the gaps and voids in the business opportunity overall, what we could do. And so and if I tell you about where we are now, so you can see those numbers, and obviously it has been a roller coaster ride, and still it is, and always it will be, is what I guess. But I think over these years, what we have learned is there are a lot of I would say broad-mindedness that you need always for kind of keeping an eye on the variety of options, and you have to kind of have the broader lens for broader opportunities, right? So my intent was always to kind of think it that way. And my tips, or broadly from my experience, if I get there, my tips would be for the student trying entrepreneurship for the first time, or maybe learning about it. So I think the few factors that you have to keep in mind probably are around being open-minded. So if you are open-minded, I think we all have hearts set on one type of occupation or field that we want to do, right? So but the things can always change when you least expect it. I know it is driven by a lot of societal pressures, parental pressures, etc. But I would still request that see the world with a broader lens for broader opportunities, because always you have to explore the options for discovering the real opportunities. And once you are at that stage, you will understand probably where I'm coming from. The second tip probably I would want to talk about here was around start networking, right? So if you want to kind of grow or learn about a space, you cannot do it all by yourself, right? So start networking now. And when I say now, it's literally now, like the way we are, for example, interacting, and probably after this you can kind of interact with us or others, other alumni. So the purpose is to kind of start early, right? So there's no harm in starting early. Obviously, it's never too late, but you should start early, and people are always willing to help you if you ask and make an effort to form a relationship. So I have seen that. I still recall, I remember the kind of first conference that I was stepping into, and kind of how hard it was to hand over that first card of mine. So it always is that way, and you have to learn it. But networking is imperative for any entrepreneur. So you have to learn it that way. Never so just understand that don't eat alone in that canteen, right? So understand why it is important. Meet new people. Take advantage of these networking opportunities. Next, I would want to talk about the experience that we had, and intern, like you should explore interning at a startup. So why? Because it helps enforce what you're learning while also teaching you the needed skills. So I think when you leave all your expectations at the door and go in ready to learn and work hard. Interestingly, in fact, interestingly, in our case, we interned in our own startup and had to get additional approvals, but that was just possible because we had solid project and research in place. So I think if you have plans or smaller goals to explore, right? So a part of you or your career, I think internship is key, and you should definitely. This will give you an exposure to what the real world would be. Next, I want to talk about proving your core competencies. So you have been hearing a lot from a lot of people, right? So about knowing your strengths and weaknesses, but I would focus here more on the strength part. So you have to work on sharpening that because once you prove your core competencies with small tasks, you will quickly find yourself in larger roles, and you will kind of build up to it. Shantanu, next, if possible. I think the next one that I would want to talk about is finding a mentor, right? So there's nothing like a single mentor. You can have multiple mentors, but at least one mentor that you can call up on to ask for advice, to celebrate the successes with, right? So calling on those with more experience will put you ahead of the game rather than trying to navigate it all on your own or reinventing the wheel. So you will learn from their mistakes, you will learn from their success, you will learn from what they have done, or probably they can guide you to other resources that will help you, if not directly. So you will not only learn an immense amount from your mentors, but it's a comforting feeling to know that you have someone who will always be there. Next, I would want to talk about take your entrepreneurship courses or classes or meetings like these seriously. And when I say that seriously, so the best way to immediately apply what you learn in your entrepreneurship classes is to take projects, right? So whatever you learn from this or others, or whatever are your takeaways. So if you are in a habit of bringing back takeaways from any time that you spend, right? So it will help you transform into an individual ready for the uncertain world, and that will be a great start of the journey. The next one I would want to talk about is staying organized. Specifically, why I've written these just with the focus is because these are all what I have prioritized in my journey as well. So stay organized, manage your time wisely. If I've learned anything about entrepreneurship, I think it's that you have to be able to do a little bit of everything and be able to balance it all. So in order to do that, I think you have to stay organized with all your tasks and set aside enough time for each one, right? So until and unless you are organized, you will not be able to do that, and that is the need of the hour. The next one would be around asking questions. So as I said, like if you are inquisitive and if you ask questions around your gray areas or doubts, and I think getting to know all aspects of business and industry you are interested in or you are wanting to work in, I think you will always find that more questions you ask, the more successful you become. So I think don't shy away from pursuing answers and always go on that hunt, whether through online channels, whether through mentors, whether through alumni, whichever way you can and get to that answer. I think very briefly, Dr. Pandey touched upon this. So be persistent and don't be afraid of failure. So I think when it comes to completing a task, be persistent, no matter how hard the task is or how little experience you have in achieving it, right? So this includes not being afraid of failure, because failure is inevitable in the field of entrepreneurship. So if you have started to start up or join the entrepreneurship, go in the entrepreneurship boat, right? So you have to experience that, and there's no one who has not experienced that. So experiencing failure firsthand actually made me a better entrepreneur. And if you don't succeed the first time, just you have to channel your disappointment and learning from the mistakes you made to transform your failure into valuable experiences. And the last one, I think again briefly touched upon, but I'll quickly walk through on on taking risk was covered. So I think Abhishek mentioned this, that there's no better time to take risk than when in college. So you have few responsibilities and millions of opportunities everywhere you turn. So and unless you are committing crimes, which your mistakes can be corrected, right? So more easily than when you are in the real world. So I think this is the right chance. So take a chance, enter that startup competition. You feel like you don't have a chance to win. Skip a night of studying or a lecture if required. And I hope the professors here don't kill me for that tip. But find time to pursue a startup you want to kind of start working on, right? So it must just lead to some chance or boost your career that you would have otherwise missed, right? So learn to take risk and kind of just focus on kind of exploring newer options, meeting new people to understand yourself and kind of the journey or the career that you're looking at ahead. Yes. Thank you. That's it from my side for now.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights, which we are sure will benefit us immensely. So now I would like to introduce our next speaker for the day, Ms. Kritika Khanna, CEO and co-founder on Labs Infotech. Kritika ma'am has graduated as an engineer in electronics and instrumentation from Amity University in the year 2015. In about 4.5 years after graduating, she co-founded on Labs Infotech. She started her journey as an intern in Siemens Dubai, where she worked in the energy department, moving on to a full-time position as a sales engineer at Vega, a technology and market leader in the field of level and pressure instrumentation, where she handled business from multiple countries in the Middle East region. After working in the industry for over 4 years, Kritika started her own venture on Labs Infotech, which now works in the technology industry to improve developer experience. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Kritika Khanna.
Thank you so much, Arya and Gautami, for introducing me and having me here. Big thanks to my faculty as well. Hearing Arya and Gautami reminded me and took me back to my days at Amity. So for all my teachers over here, they might still remember me. I used to be the person on stage and the face of my class always. So as Gautami said that I recently started my own company on Labs Infotech. I would actually take you back in time to 2011 when I joined Amity University, and I would actually like to share with you my story and journey from Amity and what inspired me to be an entrepreneur and where I am today. So, like any other student, I was extremely infused with energy when I came to college. And for sure, we are studying our regular courses, learning our technical curriculum. But I was also always very, interested in exploring new things. So back in my school, I always learned this quality or thing that, no matter what, participate. So they would say, even if you do not know how to run, you can walk. Participate in the running race that's going on in school. And it's the same with college. I participated in each and every event that I could. So you might say, why should I participate in a running race when I can only walk? So some might question. The answer to this would be, you will realize, you will understand, the things that you're good at. You will realize your strength and you'll realize your weaknesses. So I realized that, communication was a strength that I had. And I went on to anchoring, be it an IET knowledge sharing session, be it, organizing events at Amity. So I started my journey at Amity from a communication point of view. And I truly believe that Amity is a land full of opportunities. We have more than 100 courses on this campus, and you have such a diverse culture. And this is such a platform where you can connect with so many students from different fields, and you can actually, open and start a company of your own right at Amity. So it truly depends on each and every student as to how they wish to encash these opportunities, that come their way. I started with joining the literary club of ACET, which was Alfaz. I'm sure it still exists. And going on to Alphas, I used to anchor several events. I used to organize a lot of events. And, I'm sure you guys also must be organizing events. You must be thinking, why am I getting sponsorship for an XYZ event from an XYZ company? And these skills, these things at Amity really helped me how to pitch a sales to a company and get it for my university, which later helped me in my corporate career as well. I remember there was an organization that newly started at Amity. It was called Enactus. It was called Entrepreneurs Action Us. And it operated now in over 115 countries. So this organization was an organization which was based on making business plans on the triple bottom line criteria of social, environmental, and economic aspects. So, we had a small office in our college, and this team was being guided and mentored by Professor Dr. Ajay Rana, a very distinguished person at Amity. And, through this organization, I truly understood how to make a business plan, how to implement it, how to create it. And companies like KPMG was on our board of advisory. And this is where the first streak of entrepreneurship in me arose. And I felt, there is something larger than just taking a 9-to-5 job. Nevertheless, I went on to the next year of my college. I started actually interviewing celebrities for this newspaper in our college, which is called the Global Times. So I used to meet and talk to people from different phases of life, from Bollywood. I also interviewed a person in Hollywood. And trust me, I did not go anywhere outside our college. I was absolutely based at our Amity campus. And whenever we would have, distinguished people coming to our campus, I would interview them. I would connect to them. So the thing that really helped me in these interactions was I was able to confidently interact and strike a conversation with these people and build my skills, how to conduct myself in front of these people. So Amity helped me at such stages of my life to build myself as a person first. And then when it came to the fourth year of college, placements, that is the question that arises. So I got a very decent package of about 6 lakhs. And I refused that, and I went to Dubai, where my family had recently moved. And there was a job opening for this company, Vega, and they asked for experience for about 3 to 4 years. And my father said, why don't you apply? I said, no ways, I'm not going to get it, because Dubai is like a hub in the Middle East where you have all the major companies who have opened their headquarter offices, and headquarter offices usually demand for X number of experience. Nevertheless, I applied, and out of all the many thousand applications, I was called for an interview. I had a detailed session, and after the whole process was over, the president of my company said, Kritika, you're the first fresher to be hired in our company. And I was really thrilled. And what made me stand out from the rest of the crowd, who even despite the fact that they had a lot of experience, was my experience at college. So I truly feel that, at Amity, if you are able to encash the several opportunities, my dear friends, my students, our students that have joined us right over here, I'm going to say one thing. No one is going to tell you to go and participate in A event or Z event. It is you who has to, lift yourself up and go ahead and participate wherever you can. And once you commit to something, please ensure that, you do it with your heart and soul, and ensure that you have, done. It might be a small event. It might be, Arya anchoring for this event. This is, you can say step one, that you can learn how to commit to what you are doing and how to complete what you are doing right now. So this was a very proud moment for me. I started, so Vega in Dubai was still a very young company. It was 10 years old. But as such, globally, it is over a 50-year-old company. And I started working as a sales engineer, and I was handling business for about 2 countries, which was Qatar and Kuwait. Our revenue that time was, I remember, something like 150,000 euros. And through the time, as the company grew, I grew in the company. I was handling sales for about 6 countries in the Middle East, and I grew the business to about 1 million euros in a period of time of about 4 years. So, I truly suggest and recommend to all the students, who want to start their own company. It's a very good thing to get real life experience of the corporate out there. You learn a lot of things, and it's the best time is the mistakes that you commit in a company that you have joined. You will learn from those mistakes, and you will ensure that you don't do those mistakes once you are having your own startup. And it also gives you the confidence to it makes a platform for you to stand, and thus start accelerating from where you are currently at. So this was my journey at the Middle East. Now, being in the Middle East, and also being in a field which is extremely technical, because I was doing technical sales, and being a woman was something very you can say unique to the Middle East, and also sometimes challenging. As I remember, in my industry, when I would go for major exhibitions and conferences, in the complete industry, we were just 3 women engineers, and all of us knew us. I remember once I was to travel to Jordan for a business travel, and I had to go to certain sites and fields to meet with other engineers. So our agent said, Kritika, from a manufacturer, you're the first woman engineer who is coming to Jordan. For sure, this is back in 2016. I was myself a little, you can say, scared, reluctant, because I'm traveling to a new country. I do not know their language. But, these are the barriers that I broke for myself. So it's very important for you to come out of your comfort zone. Things that make you scared, try and explore, the world out there. And only then will you be able to actually realize your true potential. So, like I said, moving on to how I actually started my own startup. So, when I was able to achieve a significant growth in technical sales from, I said, 150 euros to about million euros in the last year, I realized, okay, I have been able to, establish something like this. Why do I not do the same for myself? Why can I not, build a company of my own? And that was when, very recently during COVID, when we saw that the whole world was going online, I got the strength to quit my job and start my own company, which is On Labs Infotech. My company is still very new and a very young baby, you can say. And we are currently working on the technology industry, and improving developer experience for the platforms that have already been developed, how to further enhance them, develop them. And to your surprise, my first hire is an Amity. So I also would like to push my fellow Amitians forward. And I also wanted to share one thing, when I was in college, I used to come across very fancy job titles, head of excellence. I used to think, what does a title like this mean? Somebody is very extremely fancy titles. I said, okay, if I get into a job role like this, what does it land me into? What am I going to be doing from 9 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the morning? In a technical company, what is a person, going to do marketing? What kind of marketing is that person trying to do? So, these answers were never coming to me. And I always wanted to see something from a different angle. So for the fellow students out here, I also have started my own platform on Instagram. My handle is called the Kritika Khanna, and I do live sessions with entrepreneurs every week. And the kind of entrepreneurs that I bring on my sessions are very, very unique people, coming from different backgrounds. Someone has been pursuing their business in industrial design. There is a person who created his own shampoo that works under hard water. So, if you're interested in entrepreneurship and would like to connect with me, you can connect with me on this platform. And last but not the least, I would like to point out, as a college student, please participate. Please be consistent and persistent. If you have started anything, consistency is the way to go. and each new dawn brings the opportunity of new progress. So believe in yourself and keep going.
Thank you, ma'am. That was such an informative speech, so full of real-time experiences and learning. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. It's my pleasure, Gautami.
Thank you, ma'am. With a vision and a mission to support learning through technology and to spread a word about how technology can transform and guide the development of resources and services, I would like to introduce Mr. Shantanu Rana. Mr. Shantanu, a BTech graduate in Information and Technology from Amity University in the year of 2012, is one of the core founding members of EdTech Review. He serves as a director and CEO of the company and also handles legal affairs alongside handling development and delivery teams at the company. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Shantanu Rana.
Hi, thank you, Arya. I hope I am audible now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm using for the first time on the web, so I ran into a problem. Thank you again. So I hope Utkarsh was able to take over when I was figuring out how to get the presentation and the microphone working. So I believe he introduced the company. He told you that we work as a media platform which connects educators and the people who are interested in teaching and learning process. And we have actually, reached a milestone of 3 million annual readers and 120,000 plus subscribers. So since he has already done that, I am going to talk about the way we started and what our journey had been like. So I hope you can see the screen as well. So our journey started in the pre-final year of our engineering. That was 2011. We were given the projects. So we were working on a SaaS-based project for our engineering assignment, and it was to be it was basically a combination of Twitter-like features for education. So we were working on a LMS. So I think Bam would remember that the multi-tenancy was a topic that was being taught then, and we were trying to develop something that could use that and go large scale into industry grade deployment. We got ourselves into Amity Innovation Incubator in the same year, and we started working on this project. So we were studying alongside, we were working on this project. So this project duration was for about 1.5 years, from 2011 to 2012, and even 2013. So the idea, when we were doing this project, we realized, because we had to do a lot of research to understand what actually could survive in a market where you are having organizations as big as Amity and small as a very small school, a local school, or a kindergarten school, which has about, say, 200 students. So we were trying to figure out what kind of products are there, what kind of needs educators have. And that was our learning curve, where we realized, okay, there is a mismatch in terms of information that is available in the market and what is required by the educators, the students, and people like us who are trying to figure out what to do in our lives. So that's when we pivoted from our SaaS model product based company idea to a purely news based or you can say media based company idea. So we pivoted from a product to a service industry. We started consuming a lot of content, a lot of information, what companies are doing, what kind of products they're in the market, what kind of search patterns are there from educators who are trying to teach students, what kind of resources do they look for? Are we only talking about pedagogical information? Are we talking about curriculum-based information? Are we talking about a course also? So we started doing that kind of research in the early 2012, and we incorporated our company in the same year. We were still at Amity, and it was all being done from one of the cabins in Amity Innovation Incubator. So this was the phase where we started exploring all sorts of products, be it Salesforce, which was giant at that time, which is still a giant. We went to Edmodo, which is a very small product, very specifically designed LMS. So those kind of research and hands-on experiences gave us, the learning experience that we started producing content that would generate value for audience. So we figured out what kind of information is being consumed by people, what a faculty in a higher ed would understand or want or need to consume in order to better teach students versus a school teacher, what students who are in engineering would want to consume versus say BTech, BSc student, something like that. So that's how we figured out. We started building our team. We were very small. We started as 4 people. 3 were from Amity, 1 was from outside. The person who was from outside was experienced in sales. He was from Adobe, so that pulled in some sales and marketing experience for us. Others were purely switching from tech background to a non-tech background, which was purely content. So that was a great learning for us. We worked on website designs, we worked on content designs, we worked on content types, we started engaging with customers. We did a lot of free coverages for a lot of people because media never does anything for free. So at the end of the day, for media, a reader or a consumer of the information becomes a product. You might have seen that already in a Netflix documentary that is titled as The Social Dilemma. So they beautifully state how the business model works. So we learned a lot of things. The team was small. We started growing. Then we moved to, we were bootstrapping. There was no money. We were still trying to figure out business model, which was pitchable, which was scalable, because at the end of the day, investors look for scalability. So they would want to exit a startup after, certain age, maybe 3 years, and they would want to have a good ROI on their money that they have put in. So we were trying to figure out the business models. We learned how investors interact with a company, what elements do they look at, why team is important for them over the business idea itself or the scalability itself. So those were the factors that we learned when we interacted with investors by attending different events. Some were at Amity itself, some were at other conferences. So ultimately, we started growing our team. That was in between 2013 and 2015. And in early 2013, we moved out of Amity Incubator. We took up a private space in Lajpat Nagar, and we started operating from there as we started increasing our team size. We further started adding paid customers by then. So it was by mid of 2014 when we started adding paid customers to the platform. There were people who were buying paid articles just to get our reach because we started growing. We were not restricted to India. We were going global. One of the key factors that defined our global reach was that in 2015, I think, we were called for representation at Israel in an EdTech exchange program. So Utkarsh represented us there. That was a big moment. That was a big hit. In 2004, again, we got an invite from a seasoned corporate events company to help them create an event around EdTech. So those were the markers that pointed out that we were succeeding. We were doing things right. There was scope of revenue, and definitely we were going to capitalize on that opportunity. So we grew our team, we started moving forward, and then ultimately till then, so till 2016, we were still bootstrapping. We were still putting money from our pockets, and then in 2016, when we started doing conferences around K-12 and higher ed segment, where we wanted to get the higher management leaders to attend and speak about the different type of pedagogies, technologies that they have implemented in the school. we actually started making money, and in 2016 we started making profits as well. So we reached the break-even point in 2016, and then we started making profits. After that, we have at the moment we are about a 3 CR turnover company. We are profitable. We are a team of 15 people, and that's it. Like the success is there in the clients we have. So we have big people, big clients, big names. Most of them you already know. The key learning from here, the key learning from the entire journey is that even Abhishek also pointed that out, that you have to be resilient. You have to stick to what you commit to. Kritik also emphasized that. So for us, it was basically zero salaries from 2012 to 2016. So 4 years is a big time. You get pressure from parents, you get pressure from your community, your family members, extended family. Then you also get a psychological pressure when you look at your colleagues. But when you start getting the first money out of your own startup, then you realize, okay, there is a positive side to it, and that money is yours. You don't share it with anybody. So that is something that will push you ahead, that will always keep you going. I think that's it from my side. I hope I was able to add value to whatever was discussed. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening and insightful address. Indeed, your thoughts are going to stay with us. Now I would like to invite Dr. Parul Kalra, Alumni Coordinator, IT Department, to please present us with her wise words. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Arya and Gautami. You've done a great job. And thanks to all the CRC team members who are actually conducted this event, organized this event. And I'm very happy to see my alumni who all are doing very great job, and feel very happy and to see all the alumni in a great success, see their great success, because I feel that we are growing not only in terms of physical infrastructure but also in terms of intangible infrastructure, and that is organizational bonding and climate as well as intellectual capabilities. So we are taking further steps towards establishing process of international standards, and we are ordered to promote creativity and innovation. And we have also established a center to help build an entrepreneurial culture among students. And we are growing in terms of quantity of intake and quality of inputs. So our efforts are getting respect in terms of gainful placement of our students. The industry is responsive, and our students are getting responsible position to explore their potential in their professional life. So I thanks to my all alumni who are the part of this session, and thank you once again, and please visit the campus when this pandemic is over, and I want to see all the students, and the student will follow your dreams, follow your footsteps, and definitely they also become a good entrepreneurs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now it is my honor to invite Ms. Mehtab Fatima, ma'am, Alumni Coordinator, EEE Department, to please address us with her wise words.
I think she is not in the presenter list. Dr. Vidatri Maulik, I think she's on the list. You can, she can say a few words if she's.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Please enlighten us.
Yeah, Arya, I think we can move with the next faculty member, as I don't see Fatima ma'am here.
Madhuri ma'am,
Yes,
Ma'am, We can request Garima ma'am, please.
Oh yes, I think she's next in line, right? Arya, please.
Actually, she has gone. She was gone to some meeting. Now she's back.
Actually, now I'm back.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, for you especially, I have written something. It is my immense pleasure to invite Dr. Garima Agrawal, Alumni Coordinator, CSE Department, to come forward and address us.
Thank you, Arya. Thank you so much. I, Dr. Garima Agarwal, on behalf of Computer Science and Engineering Department, I would like to thank all my alumni for taking out their valuable time and be a part of this celebration. As a famous quote by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, dream is not that which you see while sleeping. It is something that doesn't let you sleep. And I'm proud to say that our alumni have proved this over the years by completing their dreams. We will always be proud of you, our alumni, and we always want to be in touch with you. Thanks for coming and thanks for sparing your valuable time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, beta.
Okay, so now it is the time for the Q&A round. So the floor is open to give you an opportunity to ask questions that you have been thinking about. That will help you to navigate the upcoming opportunities. So over to the audience.
Gautami, we may have to just quickly do this session. So take 2 to 3 questions, and then I think we would have many questions, but let's restrict it. Okay. And then we can close it in next maximum 10 minutes, please. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Please, Gautami. Yeah, go ahead. I can see Arya Singh and Arushi Kumar who has raised their hands. Yeah, Arushi, over to you. Could you please ask your question?
Thank you, ma'am. I have a question from Kritika, ma'am. I was really inspired by her story. And I wanted to ask her that what was the most trickiest question that had come into the interview when she went to Dubai? Kritika, ma'am.
Hello, hi Arya. Yes, so to answer the question, my interview was almost a one-day process. It started with a basic IQ test. And so there were also a few questions. So, my company was a company that was into core instrumentation. I did my engineering in instrumentation, and I was expecting some questions to probably pop up from the industry. But, to your surprise, they asked me questions to check my base in maths and science. So very basic questions were being asked, I can say it's been a very long time, but what I remember is they were asking questions, how you calculate your speed and velocity. A little complex for sure, a few matrices questions. But, the interview was purely conducted by my manager and the president of our company who had flown in from France. So the interview was designed to check whether the base of the student is strong or no, because they felt, they can definitely mold and shape the person once it's hired into the company. So this was one part. And I was also given a small activity apart from my technical interview to sell a pen. So they were actually seeing my skills, and I'd like to share an incident with you, what happened. This is something that really impressed the president. He said, okay, how are you going to sell this pen to me? He just took a pen out of his pocket. So we were seated on couches, on sofas, and he was opposite to me. And there was a glass table, and there were a few coasters and a few potpourris, and there was a candle, I remember, and a tissue box. I asked him, and he said, okay. So I went ahead, I took a tissue paper out, laid it on the table, and I decorated the potpourris and candle, and the coaster, it had a Vega logo. So the presentation that I created to him on spot, I placed his pen, I placed the pen I was having in my hand to show a variety. So later on, the president said, I have never seen someone do this in an interview, to, utilize the materials, to utilize the things that are available at the moment, and to create a presentation and he said, this is what I'm looking for. And that's how my process was. I do not in specific remember any difficult question that was asked to me, but yes, it was a culmination of everything that went into the interview.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I learned a lot. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. My question is to Shantanu sir. Sir, what was your key driving force to become an entrepreneur?
Yes, Arya. So when we were doing projects, so we came across a lack of information specifically. So we were trying to build something around PHP, and at our time, PHP was not a language that was being taught as a part of our course. And when we tried to look for information, we reached out to teachers. So we found a gap. So even teachers were not well equipped enough to have guided us to a right resource. And that was the point where we started. Okay, we need to make sure that our teachers and our students are have access to a resource that gives them information all around learning and teaching process. And that's how we started.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And I have one more question. I have a question to Abhishek sir, because I heard that he has that idea of becoming an entrepreneur from a young age. So I wanted to ask, how did the idea for your business come to you? Like, you did 3 startup, which seriously is a big deal. Like, having that, yes, I will do this. I'll do this only. So yeah. What was your idea? What was the first idea that gave you that confidence कि अब तो यही करना है?
Right. Thank you, Arya. Very good question. So I don't know from where exactly it came, because as I said that the first time I wanted to do a startup, and this was I was going through some records when I found it that surprisingly that currently we are a part of an incubation program by University of Toronto, Canada. And another company who's a part of there was whose founder was the one who had actually we got in touch back in 2011 end of 12, where on a co-founders platform. So that is where I actually got the exact date that when was the first time I wanted to be a co-founder or I wanted to start a company. So the idea has always been to do something in computer science. And even though currently also I'm doing something for farmers, creating a lot of impact for that segment, which is such important, but but still the underlying technology is blockchain. So, and every time 2 things, one is that the subject, the impact, what we are creating, and also I to be very honest, to be very frank, I was frank in the beginning as well, that I have some resistance in doing the same repetitive work every day. So wherever I've done that, even if it's not in a job or wherever it is, I have not liked it. Right now I am really pumped up to get up in the morning on a Monday, but those are the times where I was not happy to get up on any day. So that's where I found that नहीं कुछ तो ऐसा करना है जिससे कि Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day, Sunday, because we work on Sundays a lot of times, and that has now in all these years of startup, it has become a part and parcel of life. And so that's when I understood that नहीं कुछ ऐसा करना है कि हर रोज सुबह ऐसा लगे कि नहीं यार उठना है, जल्दी उठना है, right? There's something to look out to. So yeah, that was when I understood. So that's why I'm keeping on doing company only. Yes.
Thank you, sir. It was a great session to all the speakers. It was like talking to your seniors, like real seniors, and getting all these ideas ki haan, you have to be like this. Calm down. You will figure it out. But before we formally conclude the end of this session, it is my honor to invite Ms. Anju Khanna, Assistant Manager, CRC ASET, to deliver a formal vote of thanks on behalf of Amity community.
Thank you so much, Arya. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks for the Innovation Day 2020 Entrepreneur Story, a session by alumni entrepreneurs of Amity University. I'm sure you want me to say that. Our esteemed panel members, how much we have enjoyed this session being a part of this exclusive event. Event like this always accompany moments that we need to be thankful for, and we surely have some thanks to give this afternoon. I would like to show my gratitude towards the entire panel for taking this out precious time from your never-ending hassling and joining us for the event. I would like to thank Mr. Abhishek Bhattacharya, co-founder and product head of World, for upskilling and enlightening us with his experiences. I would like to extend my thanks
to Ms. Kritika Khanna, co-founder on Labs Infotech, for her guidance on today's business opportunities. Then I would like to thank Mr. Shantanu Rana, Director and CEO of EdTech Review, for guiding us about resource development and services and how technology can be a crucial role in transforming around us. And now I would like to thank Mr. Utkarsh, co-founder and CEO of EdTech Review, for illuminating the importance of skills and knowledge that happen to create a strong base for the students to face. In the end, I would like to special thanks to Professor Dr. M.K. Pandey, Professor Dr. Abhay Bansal, Dr. Madhuri, my team, and joint heads for guiding us, staying with us right away from the beginning till the end, as one can truly know the importance of proper guidance during the times like this. Thank you, sir, for your support and guidance. I would like to thank each and everybody, each and every person who is directly and indirectly participated in this happening of the event and helped us in making a huge success. Thank you once again, everybody. Thank you so much.
With this, we conclude the Innovation Day session by Alumni Entrepreneurs. I once again, on behalf of the Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, thank all the guests and dignitaries for their significant presence and the role in encouraging the industry-academia linkages through this forum. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for having us.
And thank you so much for having us, ma'am.
Thank you. And sorry, we actually overshooted the time, but I hope you are used to your alma mater.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Abhishek, Kritika,
And
Shantanu.
best of luck to all the students.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. I